my name's Bertie Burns. I graduated from St Norbert College in 1999 with degrees in biology and also history. And today I'm talking to you from Cape Town, South Africa. So today was a pretty lucky day for me. One, I woke up in South Africa, which is unusual for me in and of itself, but my boyfriend and I were going out to Robben Island, and we're sitting and honestly getting a little seasick when all of a sudden he starts hitting me on the side, which honestly when you're feeling seasick you don't need, but he's like, look at that, look at that, look at that. And he's not looking out on the horizon, he's turned around and looking behind me. And he grabs this guy above us on the stairs who's wearing a St Norbert shirt and says, did you go to St Norbert? And Bob leans over and is just like, yes, I run the Peace and Justice Center. And then it's like the celebrity cast of St. Norbert crowds around him. There's Father Jay, there's Corday, there's everyone. Dr. Bockenhauer, who had been my professor in environmental studies. So it was kind of a very strange day because I think we're probably 10,000 miles away from St. Norbert College, but have this little contingent here.
And so you have been living, though, 10,000 miles away from St. Norbert College.
Yes.
Tell us what you've been doing. You graduated in 1999. And so what was your degree and what are you doing?
In 1999, I graduated from St. Norbert with a dual degree in biology and history. I immediately went to grad school at Indiana University for my master's, and I stayed for my PhD, but several years into my PhD, I left to join the American Foreign Service. I'm a diplomat with the Department of State. My first tour was in Mexico City. I went back then and studied Dari in Washington, D.C. And then for the last 9 months, I've been living in Kabul, Afghanistan, working on the humanitarian demining program.
And so that's kind of an unusual thing for a biology major to do.
It is. It is. Although I was really proud to tell Dr. Bockenhauer my next tour, which starts in September, is that I'll be the Arctic Affairs Officer in the Department of State's Bureau of Oceans and Environmental Science. So I am going back to my science background. But basically the Foreign Service will take anyone with strong character and with a desire to do a lot of different jobs in his or her life. And this actually is a pretty exciting day for me because I'm getting to thank a lot of people who are a big part of who I've become and what I've been able to do, because I often tell people the best preparation for the Foreign Service exam was residence life, which is pretty exciting to be able to go back and say I was prepared for a group interview, which very few candidates are, and also what they ask about is how you respond to crises, because a lot of what we do is help Americans overseas. In fact, that was my last assignment, was working in American Citizen Services. And so today I've been able to thank my science professor who really inspired me on environmental justice, and also the director of the residential programs and services, and that was a huge part of my undergraduate experience, was working in Res Life.
Oh, that's fantastic. And now you also...
I can tell you very honestly, and my parents, who are also St. Norbert alums, would be the first to say this. If I hadn't won the Thomas Jefferson Scholarship and also the Freshman Essay Scholarship, I could not have afforded to go to St. Norbert and have the experience that they desperately wanted to give me, because they're both alums themselves. So that scholarship is what defines who I am today. I would have had a totally different undergraduate experience if I hadn't gone to St. Norbert. So that was an invaluable gift, which alumni before me gave me. And the liberal arts education, I often tell people that I think graduate school is for really focusing on practical applications of your degree, but your undergraduate should be about exploring the variety of lenses that we can look at the world through. I mean, I was lucky enough to look at the world through both a biological lens and also a historical lens. And also what I love about St. Norbert is that it's not just a strong scholastic program, but it's a program about integrity. And all of my teachers, that was ingrained in the classroom setting. I mean, here today we have the Social Justice, Peace and Justice Center director, along with the environmental science professor. Like, these are deeply wedded at St. Norbert, and that has changed who I am in every way. That was a defining experience in my life.
And so tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing in Kabul. What has your work been?
I have a program that's totally outside of science. Right now I run the Humanitarian Demining and Victims Assistance Program, which means that I'm the manager of a $54 million grant to Afghanistan that 22 implementing partners run our landmine clearance, and then also our assistance to victims of landmines. So people who have lost limbs, we provide prosthetics, and we do vocational training for landmine victims. So in total, we spend $5 million on victims assistance and nearly $50 million on humanitarian demining. We have the largest demining program in the world currently operating in Afghanistan.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is. I'm really, really lucky. I often say I have the best job in Kabul. I could not be luckier. It's an incredibly hard experience. It's exhausting. Kabul, Afghanistan is not South Africa. It's not a paradise, but I'm lucky that every day, for a few minutes a day, I get to do something that really affects people and really matters in somebody's life, and that has mattered so much in my own and has made this experience worth all the sacrifices that came with it.
All right. That's great. You guys have
Thanks!
any-